Hi friends. Today's topic is rocks and soil. So I'm here with some short notes on this topic. This notes will help you in your examination in your Olympiads. You just need to go through them. Another thing you can do, you can take the screenshots and you can take out the printout of them. So let's start quickly on it. Rocks and soil. Both this rocks and soil we are getting from earth only, right? And how we are getting them we'll discuss in a later part of our video, but just be sure that both of these two we are getting from the earth only. First of all, what are rocks? Rocks are made up of tiny grains called minerals. Repeat with me. Rocks are made up of tiny grains called minerals. And from where minerals we are getting the minerals from earth. And from earth, from where the minerals are coming to earth, because all the rotten parts of the plants, all the rotten body parts of the animals, all those things are falling down on the earth only, and the earth is decaying it. So while the process of decay, the earth is decaying it, it absorbs all these minerals and vitamins of that particular body part. So I think now you must be clear with this line. There are some of the examples of the rocks. I have mentioned some of the important examples, and with each of the example I have written some small quotations so that you can remember them. Because of these examples only, there can be a possibility you can get some small questions. For example, name the hardest rock. The hardest rock is diamond only. You cannot cut diamond easily. Okay. There is one more thing that usually comes up: chalk. Whether the chalk is a rock or not. Yes, chalk is a rock, and chalk is a soft rock. So remember these 2 points. I have mentioned 2 common examples also, just to make you understand and to make you remember it. One is coal, that is koila, that we usually use in our bonfire, and we are able to break it easily, right? So it is not that much of hard. Another one is granite, that is also a hard rock but not the hardest one. Okay, there is one more point I have mentioned exclusively. I saw in one of Olympiad there was a question, which is the rock that can float on the water. So that is pumice. It is the lightest rock that can float on the water. So you need to remember these 5 examples, and there can be a possibility some small questions can come up. Okay, so I hope you understood how the rocks are getting made up of and how we are getting it from the earth only. Okay, let's go to soil. Soil are basically made up of 2 main things. One is tiny pieces of rocks, another one is rotted pieces of dead plants and animals. So the rocks that we just understood, when they got grinded, like because of weather conditions, rain or anything, because of us also, right? So those tiny pieces of rocks can make soil. Another one is rotted pieces of dead plants and animals. So all the parts of the plants that are getting dead, like dead leaves are falling down on the ground only, the stems, the roots and everything is coming down on the earth only, right? And similarly, we are whenever any animal got dead, so we are just burying the body of that particular animal into the earth only, right? Sometimes human beings also getting buried. So obviously the body will get decayed, and when the body will get decayed, some of our body parts are full of vitamins, minerals and lots of things are there within our body. So earth is getting all those things and finally giving us in some other in the form of some other things like soil. Okay, I have exclusively mentioned one term called humus. It can be asked, what is humus? Humus is nothing, it's just a rotten plants and animals, nothing else. You just need to remember the humus. Okay, let's go to another important thing. We can discuss on layers of soil. Let me tell you an experiment that you can do at your home to observe this with your naked eyes, and I think visual experiment is easy to understand plus easy to remember. So what you need to do, you need to have a jar that should be a transparent jar. It can be a glass jar or it can be a plastic jar, but it should be transparent enough so that you can observe it. You need to first have some soil in it. You can collect the soil from any of the ground, playground, anywhere. What you need to do, you need to place it and you need to pour some water in it and just leave it for like overnight. Okay, just leave it for rest. Don't disturb that particular jar and make it for rest over the night. In the morning you will be able to observe some of the layers. The first layer that you will be able to observe is of humus that we just discussed. These are the rotten parts of animals or plants. Second layer will be of clay. These are the fine particles of the soil. These are the finest one. Okay. The third one will be the sand. That must be the larger particles of soil, the particles that are larger than clay. And finally at the bottom of it you will be able to see the gravels. The gravels are the small tiny rocks. So obviously they must be heavy enough, so they are at the bottom of the jar. So how many layers does the soil have? It is having 4 layers: humus, clay, sand and gravel. So try to do this experiment. I think it will help you. The next one that I have mentioned is soil contains air and water. You can observe this also, at least for air. What you can do, in the same way that we were doing in the above experiment, you need to have some soil in a container and just pour some water in it. When you will pour some water, instantly you will be able to see some bubbles are coming out of it. Okay, so the bubbles that are coming out of are the air. Why it is coming out? When you pour the water, the pour is now consuming the place that air was having, and the air is now coming out of it. Okay, so this is the example to understand that soil contains air and water. There are multiple questions being asked that whether soil contains air or water. So just be clear, yes, it can contain air and water. There are some types of soil also. Total there are 3 types of soil. Okay, the first one is clay soil. Clay soil is a soil that can hold lots of water. It is the finest soil. When you will touch it now, it will be soft, smooth. It is basically used by potters to make the pots because they want the fine one. There should not be any bigger particles. There should be small particles, the fine ones. Then only a proper shape can come up. Okay, so clay soil is the soil that can hold lots of water, but it cannot hold lots of air. Another one is sandy soil. Sandy soil, it is a rough soil, as well as you cannot hold it easily. Whenever you will try to hold it now, it will get you will lose it from your hand. It is of large particle with lots of spaces. So but it cannot hold much of the water. Where you can observe this kind of soil, you can observe on the beach, you can observe on the desert like Thar desert, all those places you can observe. So sandy soil is a soil that is rough and loose. Okay, next one is the loamy soil. Loamy soil is a mixture of sandy and the clay, both of them, and it is the most fertile soil. So wherever the farming is being done, the loamy soil is only being used. Okay. So automatically it is a mixture of sand and clay, so it should be able to hold water and air both, and because of which the plants can grow easily in it. Okay. So I hope till now everything you would have been gone through is clear to you. If any questions you have, just put it in the comment box, and let me revise the topics that we just discussed. We discussed the rock, how the rock are made up of, from where we got the rocks, and some of the important example of rocks. Okay, the next one we discussed is soil, and what and how is soil made up of, and how we are getting the soil from the earth, right? And how the rock is also helpful in the formation of soil. Plus we have discussed the layers of soil. There are basically 4 layers of soil, right? We discussed the property of the soil, that is it can contain air and water both. We discussed the experiments also that you can do at your home easily, and you can observe it. The last topic that we just discussed is the type of soil. So clayey soil, sandy soil, and the loamy soil. So last topic that we are going to discuss on it is the importance of soil, or what is the usage of soil, or why soil is required in our life. So for the same thing there can be multiple chances you can get your questions. Okay, so this basically there are 3 things in our day-to-day life. One is plant, another one is animal, and the third one is us, right? So how soil is important to plant? Because plant can only grow in soil. They are getting their minerals from the soil only. So thus we are getting the food because of soil only. So I have mentioned some of the important 3 example of it. Sometimes they are being asked also. Rice can be grown in the clay soil. Why so? Because rice needs lots of water, and the clay soil can hold lots of water. Okay. Another one is bajra can easily grow in sandy soil. Why so? Because bajra doesn't need much of the water. Okay, so it can be grown on the sandy soil. So you can observe when you will go to Rajasthan state or Gujarat state, where lots of desert is there, people are eating bajra chapatis. So this is the reason they are eating lots of bajra chapati, because they are getting bajra in very less cost. Okay, the last one is most of the plant can grow on loamy soil, that we know. Okay, the second point is how soil is useful for animals. The first one is animal obviously getting their food from the soil only, right? And the second one is like they are also getting some of the animals are there who are getting their livelihood. They are getting their home from the soil. For example, rabbit, earthworms, moles, they are getting their home from the soil only. The last one is how is it important for us. First and the foremost, and that is the important point, is we are getting the food from soil only. Our fruits and vegetables both are coming with the help of plants, that is with the help of soil only, right? But there are some of the man-made things also that we are making with the help of soil, like cement, bricks, glass. So all these things we are making, and with the help of these material only we are getting our home. So animals are also getting their home, and we are also getting our home with the help of soil only. I hope this video would have helped you, and these are just some of the short points that you need to remember for your examination. For upcoming videos, please subscribe to our channel. we are trying to use both of the languages, sometimes Hindi and English both, so that we'll be able to cover up most of the people. Be with us. Take the screenshots, take the printouts, and revise. All the best. Bye bye.